Hi everybody, this is Lee here with another video. I'm a driving instructor working in and around Middlesbrough and Stockton, and I'll be going over another one of the test routes from Middlesbrough Test Centre, and this one takes us past Middlesbrough College. I'll be doing some commentary driving as I go, hopefully pointing out some of the areas that could be a little bit tricky. And be aware that routes, although this is one that a learner of mine has done on a driving test, they can be adapted by the examiner based on conditions. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Tap the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload new content, and share with anybody that is coming for a test soon and that might benefit from my videos. Now all that's out of the way, let's get going. I'm just going to wait for traffic to ease up. On my left hand side I do have a truck reversing, so I'm just going to wait. There we go. Now as I'm coming down Maxwell Road, you can see that there's quite a few cars parked up on the left hand side, so we do want to give them some clearance. Just be careful because we are positioned a little bit further over to the right, and so if there's any cars coming in at the end of this road, we might be in a position where we're in the way, so just take it nice and easy. We're going to turn left. Okay, and we're going to take the next road on the right, so I'm going to check my middle and my right mirror, give a signal, move slightly over towards the right, slow the car down, get into second gear, look into the junction on the right hand side, there's nothing there, I'm going to turn in. Now there is some vehicles up ahead, you can see the postman getting out of the van. I'm just going to ease off a little bit, check my mirrors, then I'll move off and around him, and then we've also got that black car reversing as well, so we're just going to be a little bit more careful, giving that post office van a lot of room. Just watch what they're doing. Looking. Okay. Okay, and at the end of this road we'll turn right. It's clear on both sides, so I'm just going to continue moving. Okay, we're going to get up to speed. It is a 30-mile-an-hour road. Just make sure that we are going the speed limit, but we're not exceeding it. Pretty straightforward, this road. There's not an awful lot to go wrong. Just going to make sure that we're watching for anything coming out of the junctions on the left and the right, and we're also maintaining a distance behind the car in front that I can stop in, that I can see in the distance I can see to be clear. So I've got to be able to stop in the distance I can see to be clear. So that means I make sure that I've got something like a 2-second gap. Nice and dry conditions. And at the roundabout, we will be turning left, taking the first exit. So as I'm coming down the bank, I'm just going to be watching the roundabout now, just seeing what's going on it, see if I can make a decision nice and early. Check my mirrors, middle and left, signal to the left. I'm going to bring myself down in speed. Everything's stopping, so I'll be getting first gear. Okay, I'm going to continue to watch the traffic on the roundabout. So it is looking fairly busy today, and with this kind of roundabout, we don't want to be charging out in front of a car if you can't tell where it's going. If there is a vehicle on your right hand side, it's probably best just to let it get past you, even if it's on the inside, because you don't know if it's going to come out and then cross lanes. So this is a 50-mile-an-hour dual carriageway, just making sure that I'm getting up to speed, as I said, and then we'll also make sure that we're keeping our distance from the cars in front. Again, just keep the 2-second gap open. Now, if you do have somebody that's really, really close to you behind, a good idea is to actually just increase the gap in front of you, so that if anything happens, if the guy in front or the person in front does need to brake sharply, you've got a little bit more room to be able to slow down in. And then when I come to a stop, I want to be able to see tyres and tarmac from the car in front. So there, we've got the lights that have just changed to green in front of us, so we haven't sort of put our foot down to get up to the next set of lights. Kept it nice and steady, so we haven't got any harsh acceleration, therefore we don't also have to brake harshly either. Allowing the cars in front to start speeding up, pulling away, open up that distance. So we're coming off at the next exit, so I'm just going to check my mirrors, middle and left, signal to the left now. There we go, I'm easing off the gas and start squeezing the foot brake, cancelling the signal. We are turning right, make sure my right signal is on now. I'm going to get into first gear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the clutch up and I'm going to allow the clutch just to keep me moving just to a point where I can just see the tyres and tarmac, and then I'm just going to hold it with my foot brake. I've already got my bike point set at this point. The only thing that's holding me still is the foot brake. So now that these lights have been on for a while and it doesn't look like they're changing at the moment, I am going to put my handbrake on, put it into neutral. Now, because I'm so far back, I'm not too worried about getting moving straight away, because it's going to take a little bit of time for the traffic to start filtering and moving. So all I'm waiting for is the lights to change, and as soon as I get that, as soon as I see that, I'll get prepared. Now that left filter arrow has come on, so our lights are going to change again in a moment. So I'm going to start getting prepared now. So into first, bring my bike point up, release my handbrake, set the gas, and then smoothly lift my clutch up to get myself moving. So while I'm sat here waiting, I'm just going to be looking around and just checking for bikes filtering through, pedestrians, anything that might cause me a problem. Okay, there's the filter arrow coming on. So I'm going to start getting myself prepped now, because ours should be the next light to change. So I'm getting my bike point, setting the gas, handbrake off, then smoothly lifting the clutch as I press the gas pedal down. Now, coming up to a roundabout, and at the roundabout, we'll be going straight ahead. It's the first exit. So again, on the approach, I'm just going to start hazard drill, checking my mirrors, bring my speed down, gear changed, looking over to the right-hand side. Now there is a black van coming through. Okay, and we're off. So I'm just making sure that as I'm coming up the bank, I've just got enough power on to keep me around about 28 miles an hour. And then as I get to the top, we start to go down the other side. I'm just easing off the gas and start letting the car roll pretty much itself, keeping the speed below the limit. Got a green light, might turn to red. I'm just keeping an eye on it, but it's fine. I'm going to keep it moving now. So we're going past Middlesbrough College. Now here, obviously depending on the time of day that you're taking your test, when you're taking the test, you could have students walking backwards and forwards, crossing the street, that kind of thing, crossing the road. So just be aware of anything that might be going on. But as previously, it's just fairly straight road. There's not an awful lot to it. We're just going to keep an eye out on the junctions. And at the traffic lights, we're turning left. So I will start my hazard drill. Got my mirrors, got my signal on, bring my speed down, get the gear changed to second gear, keep it moving, looking into the junction and then turning into it, keeping out of the cycle lane on the left hand side. Get back up to speed, 30 miles an hour, and up ahead we do have some traffic lights which are currently on green, but I am just being mindful that they may turn to red as I approach them. And now I'm just going to check my mirrors before I start to slow the car down. Into second gear and keep on moving. Didn't expect it to change so quickly. Slight bend around to the left. Keep an eye out on the traffic lights here. There we go, they're turned to red as well. Again, check my mirrors, slow the car down. I'm in the first gear. And then I'm going to pause before the cycle lane. Okay, so we have a red light up ahead, so I'm not going to be driving off too quickly towards it. I'm going to be fairly steady. Okay, set the gas, lift the clutch, nice and smoothly, get myself moving. Again, we're going to turn left at the traffic lights here. Okay, so we're just moving off, just keeping an eye on the pedestrians on the left-hand side. We didn't really just walk out into the street. All good, and we're just going to watch this guy on the left as well. Okay, so now we're going to come up to a couple of roundabouts. At the first roundabout, we're turning left, taking the first exit. And at the second roundabout, we're turning right, taking the third exit. And this is going to go down past the Odeon Cinema. So again, check my mirrors, middle left, signal to the left, slow the car down, give myself enough time to be able to see anything coming from the right-hand side. It's fine, I'm going to keep it out, and then I'm going to drift it over into the right lane, mirrors and signal to the right, keeping an eye on the right, still fine. Just keep it moving. And then we're going to be taking next exit, mirrors, signal. There's our exit. Now we do have traffic lights around this bend, which are currently on red, so I'm going to start slowing the car down. Into first. Now up ahead, a little bit further ahead, just past the lights, the right-hand lane does have a merge over into the left, and I've got a car on my right-hand side, so I'm just going to be holding it back a little bit, let this guy get moving. Oh, no, he's just stopped. Okay, that's fine. I was going to hold him back, so I was expecting him to just move off and get in front of me, but he waited, so that's all good. Okay, so at the crossroads, we're going to continue straight ahead. Watch out for anybody cutting across. Just watching this Dacia. It's fine. Moving. Cycle lane on my left-hand side, so I'm just going to move slightly over towards the right, keeping out of that. Watching the cars in front. Any cars coming out of the junction on the right. And we've also got a pedestrian crossing. There is a pedestrian on the left-hand side, but it doesn't look like it's anywhere near the crossing itself. I'm not expecting that to change. Okay, now we're coming up to two roundabouts that are really close together. At the first roundabout, we're turning right, taking the second exit. At the second roundabout, we're turning left, taking the first. Now, the sat-nav doesn't give you an instruction for the second roundabout. It just tells you, well, it doesn't really tell you anything. It just follows the road round like it's a bend. So we're going to deal with it as a roundabout. Now, if you do get stuck in busy traffic, don't worry about it. You know, you can only go when it's safe. And now I'm going to just drift it out into the left lane, ready for the next roundabout. And I'm just going to keep an eye on the junction on the right hand side. There's no cars approaching it, so everything's fine. I'm just going to continue. Now at the moment the lights aren't flashing, so we don't need to worry about bringing the speed down to 20 miles an hour too much. I'm just going to move with the flow of the traffic. There is a crossing and the button has been pressed, so just going to watch out for that. It's fine, and we are taking the next road on the right, so I'm going to give a signal and then I'm going to get into the filter lane. Just move into position so that the front of my car is in line with the centre line of the road I'm turning. Looks like they're waiting for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is quite a narrow road. Sometimes there's vehicles parked up on the left that are sort of like on the pavement and on the road itself. And then we've got a van on my right hand side there. Okay, now at this roundabout we're turning left, taking the first exit, followed by the first road on the right. So there's quite a quick succession at this point. So just want to make sure it's all safe for me to move, which it is, but I'm not going to speed up too much. I'm going to keep the speed under control. Mirrors and signal. There's a few cars coming. Got time to get through. Now this is all 20 miles an hour this road, so we're just going to be careful. Okay, so we're coming up to a crossroads, and at the crossroads we will be turning right. It's quite tight. I'm going to slow it down. Vision's really impaired on the right hand side, so I'm just going to creep it out. So we can use these roads to do parallel park and angle starts. Just keep it nice and steady on these roads. You don't need to rush it. Again, they are 20 mile an hour speed limits. I'm going to take the next road on the right at this crossroads. Here we have more opportunities for potential parallel park and angle starts as well. At the end of the road, turn left. Bit of an awkward one this, because the road does kind of go back on itself, so we've just got to be careful that we're taking observations before we move out. And it's the same with the end of this road where we turn left again. The road is really difficult to see on the right hand side, so just be careful. First gear, use your clutch, creep it out. Car coming, so we're just going to wait, creep it out a little bit more so we can open up the vision, which is fine. We can see it's all good. And at this roundabout we're going to go straight ahead, second exit. Okay, now we've got a bus that's ahead of us, so I'm just going to check my mirrors. I'm going to move it out slightly over towards the right, just so I can see past it, wait for the car to get past, and then I'm going to move out and past the bus itself. Check my mirrors, see the front of the bus before I move back in. Now the test at this point can go one of two ways. It can either turn right, head back towards the roundabouts, or it can go straight ahead. We're going to go straight ahead. So we do have some narrow roads. Just going to be careful with this guy getting out of the taxi. Making sure I've got the room. So ideally, when you're passing parked vehicles like this, you do want to give them approximately 1 metre. This is just so they can open the door without you taking it off. Obviously, if the roads are narrower, you wouldn't be expected to be able to give 1 metre, particularly if you've got vehicles on either side of you and you're getting through narrow gaps, in which case you try to be equidistant and go slowly, just in case somebody does decide to open the door. We are turning right at the end of the road. Again, bringing it down at the first. Can't really see on the left hand side. Some cars come in. And then at the end of the next road, we'll turn left. So the handy thing about the junction, this junction, is if you're turning left and you look over to your right, there is a crossing there. So sometimes if it is busy and you've got pedestrians there, they will use the crossing and it does go onto a red light which stops the flow of traffic, which means that you should be able to get out of that junction. So again, I'm not going to be bombing up to the lights. I'm going to do interesting. I'm going to be stopping before the cycle lane, before the box. Now, because there is a cycle lane on the left-hand side, I don't want to be obstructing it in case there are cyclists. So it does mean that I'm positioned slightly more towards the right. We're just heading back now towards the cinema. Now we are aware of the lights that are just around this bend, so we're just going to be keeping an eye on it. Now at the roundabout, we do want to be turning right, so I will be making a lane change. I've got a car on my right hand side, so I'm just going to be maybe holding it back a little bit, let the cars get past. And just slowing it down, watching out for cars on the right hand side. It's clear. signal here. I do want to start drifting it out towards the exit, keeping an eye on my left mirror, watching for any cars that might be on that side. I'm looking to join the carriageway, so I'm going to check my mirrors and got signal on, and then I'm going to be looking for space. Now there is plenty of space here, so I'm just going to slide it out, make sure I'm building the speed up to the point where I'm at the speed of the road. So at this point we've got a separate lane on our left hand side running parallel to the main carriageway where cars may or may not merge over. Now we are going to be joining that lane, so mirrors, signal, and slide it over when it's clear. So looking ahead, we've got some red lights, so everything's going to slow down or stop. I'm getting this ready in first gear. So I'm going to hold back a little bit further than I normally do because of this vehicle in front. It is a longer vehicle. And I do want to make sure that I can be seen by the driver. And also it means that I can see around the car. I can see around the vehicle as well a little bit better. And we're going to use the leftmost lane towards the A171, which is the middle lane. Let's hit the gas and smoothly bring the clutch up. Being careful, it looks like the vehicles in front are taking a little bit of a moment to get moving. Okay, as you can see there by the road markings, we're left only. So this is a 30-mile-an-hour road, so I'm just making sure I'm not speeding too much. Keep it nice and steady. And we're going to take the next road on the right. It's between the traffic islands. So I'm just going to check my mirrors, pop the signal on, ease off the gas, bring it into the filter lane, slow the car down, get my gear changed. Looking at the junction, it's fine. Check my mirrors as I move out and around past the parked car. And I'm going to keep an eye on my mirrors until I see the front of it, and I'll bring it back in again. At the crossroads, I'll be turning left. So mirrors, middle left, signal left. Bring the car down in speed. First gear, it is a closed junction on the right hand side. Use my clutch. Keep the car moving, it's absolutely clear. Out we go. And then we're going to turn back into Maxwell Road. So I'm going to check my mirrors, put the signal on, position the car, slow the car down, get the gear changed. Nothing in the junction, it's fine. So I'm going to turn in. Again, keep it low at this point because of the cars that parked up. I'm just going to reverse. We've got observations. Start reversing into the space on my left hand side. Okay, and there we go. So that was the route from Middlesbrough Test Centre, taking in Middlesbrough College. Hope you found the video helpful. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, and leave a comment because it all helps the channel to grow and reach the people that are looking driving tests and test routes in the Middlesbrough area. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.